Hey guys, Sea Lion here again. And what was that? Get back in the game. There he is. So anyways, I just wanted to make another video to follow up on my previous one. And that was about the Bard system. And this one will kind of assume that you've seen that one, although to be honest, there's not much you need to know. I will put in the description of this video, I'll put a link to the previous one, and you don't actually have to watch that video, just check that video's description, and there's a too long didn't watch section I'll put, and it'll tell you how to set up the keybinds the same. And then once you have the same keybinds as me, you can follow the sheet music that I'll be showing you. So there's a couple things that this video is just going to be going into more detail on the Bard system, essentially, for those of you who want to get more into it and you're kind of excited to dive into it, but you don't have too much music experience. So I just want to show you these. These are basically the four things I'm going to be doing, if you can see on the screen over there. And so the video might be a little long, so I'll put timestamps in the description, and I'll put those little section things if I can, so you can skip ahead to anything you're interested in. So just to get started, let's do number one. How do I read this FF14 sheet music? So if I show you the sheet music that I had last time, it looks like this. And let me scroll that properly up here. So how do we read this, actually? Well, when you see multiple letters in brackets, in square brackets here, that means that they should be played simultaneously. So, for example, this is simultaneous, 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 and simultaneous. When you see single letters, obviously they're just a standalone note. And when you see maybe a dash, it means that perhaps there's a pause or you hold the note. This is all very rough stuff because, it's not actual sheet music. So let's just get a sense of what it sounds like in the... Oh, I'm not... Oh, my instrument out. There we go. So I'm going to play the first line of this song, so just this part here, okay? And we will play it a little bit slowly so you can get a feel for it. So the first note is two notes combined, actually, like that. So let's just play the whole first line. Okay, so that's basically what it sounds like. So there's one problem, though. When I say that they should be played simultaneously, unfortunately, if I press JL together, only one comes through, right? So in Final Fantasy, there's a lot of limitations to the music system, and I think this is one of the biggest ones. You cannot have multiple inputs to your instrument at the same time. And that really sucks. That's why a lot of those fancy performances, they use multiple characters, because then they can all play things at the same time without having to, well, they can play them at the same time, because we just can't otherwise. So the way that we get around this in the game is, if you're playing by hand, you can just press them quickly in succession. For example, if I type JL at the same time, you don't hear the other note, but if I do this, you can kind of hear them both at the same time, right? So that's kind of the workaround for that in this system. So, and then it's more obvious when we get to the triple note. So let's play the first up till this SIJ, and you'll get you'll hear the three together. And it sounds very nice because it's like it's harmonic. So the other thing to note is the order that I press them is actually important. So the way that I've written this for Final Fantasy is the last letter will always be the one that follows the melody. So if I just play the last letter up to this point, let's see what that sounds like. Whoops, sorry. So that's the melody, right? But it doesn't sound as nice without the supporting notes. So that's why we play it like... because it just sounds a lot fancier, it's more beautiful. The problem is, though, if I type LJ by mistake, it's the wrong note. So like if I play this backwards, it'll sound terrible. Oops, it's hard to play it backwards. But you have to play, if you want to hold the note, you have to play the proper last one last so that you can hold it. So that's why I've written it this way. And then on that part only matters more for instruments you can hold notes. If you play it on piano, for example, you can't actually hold a piano note, right? It doesn't really matter if you hold the key or not. So on here, I can just play it like this. So the benefit of something like piano is it's much easier to play. You can just hit the notes together, and it's harder to make a mistake. The downside is you cannot hold the note, so it doesn't sound as nice for those parts where you should hold it for a while. For example, this dash here, that's an indicator that I should hold the note. So if I go... So that's why it's kind of hard to choose an instrument for a song, because, you know, you just have to decide what sounds better to you. The piano is very nice, and the oboe is also very nice for the song, I think. It's kind of hard to choose which one's better. So, how do I read the sheet music? So there's one more point I'll try and make here. Let's go down to the chocobo song down here. The other notation we can use, so the previous song doesn't really have any fast moments. Chocobo song, I guess it does. So if we play this one, you'll see that some of the letters are grouped together, but they do not have brackets around them. What that usually means is you should play them quickly in succession, but not simultaneously. So let's give that a shot. Let's try sax for fun. How do I get that out here? Where's the saxophone? So let's play that chocobo song. So you can kind of get an idea that the letters grouped together are played more quickly. So it's a little bit slower here. Right? So that's a very simple one to show that off. So what can we talk about next here? How do you find your own songs to play? Okay, give me a second here. And bring this up. So, if you want to find existing songs to play, this is the same website I showed last time, and we will just go to music sheets here on this site. And if we go to music sheets, and we get this annoying pop-up all the time, and I hate it, let's just do songs from games, because everyone likes that, right? Stop with your stupid pop-up, please. Oh god. And then let's just do Mario song, because that's very simple, and everyone knows it. Now, if we look... Stop it. If we look at this sheet music, it's a disaster, right? What the hell is this? So it's kind of hard to play this. However, let me play this for you in the game right now without even fixing it up, and we'll see if we can recognize the song. Oops. So you can definitely hear it, right? it's clearly the Mario song, but it's so difficult to read this and to play it. It's a disaster. So, however, we have found a song to play, so that's how you can find them. So let's move on to our next point here. How do I adapt this song to Final Fantasy? Well, let's grab all this crap and get off this website and get onto my favorite tool. Where is my favorite tool? No, that's not it. There she is. Notepad++. So I just pasted the song directly into here. It's still a disaster. So something you'll notice, if I go to the game, and I can type these notes, right? F, capital I, 9. Oh, there's no 9. So what I'll actually do when you're translating these songs to Final Fantasy, first let's just eliminate all the notes that don't matter, right? So 9, we cannot play that in the game. It doesn't exist. So I'm just going to Control F, go to Find and Replace, type 9, and replace it with blank. Boom. The blanks are, sorry, the 9s are all gone. We just deleted them all from this whole sheet. If we keep playing, Fi, 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 Si, Fi, W, O, H, A. Oh, there was no W. So find the W, replace with blank. All the W's are gone. Maybe I don't like this little little separator symbol either. I'm going to replace all those with blank. Delete them all. Hey, why didn't it do it? Oh, search mode normal. There you go. So it's a little bit tedious, but you just kind of go through and delete all the notes that don't exist in the game. And then another thing you might want to do is separate the lines into what's logical for you. For example, if I go through the song and I play like this, I just played this part here. I think that's a good logical break, so I'm going to separate the line like this. So let's keep playing and find the next logical break. So maybe here is good. And then you can see it just repeats here, so it'd be the same thing. So this is just a repetition. So once you start breaking it into lines, you can find that a lot of it's just repetition, because that's obvious, right? A song sees a lot of repetition. So, you know, you can delete the extra keys you can't play. You can separate them into lines. Perhaps make the spacing a little nicer if it's easier to read for you like that. What else can we do here? So, oh, and another thing that I like to do is if I played this whole thing, I've actually already done it, sorry, spoiler, but the ending sucks. After you delete all the extra notes, it doesn't sound nice, because there's some notes down here that need to be played. So I actually just played through the song, and I found what's a good place for me to stop, and I just cut out the stuff after that, and I made a nicer ending myself. So I'll just give you the one that I actually already completed. This is what I turned it into. It's the exact same one. I just turned it from this to this. And let me double check you can see that. Yes, you can. So this is the Mario song that I've trimmed down for Final Fantasy. So let's just take a look at what it sounds like. So yeah, let's just skip to the end. So I'll start somewhere around here. I thought that was a good endpoint. So it's pretty much that easy. maybe that wasn't easy. I'm not sure. It depends on how you feel about it, I guess. But it is a little bit tedious trying to trim this down so it's nicer in the game. But once you write it out in a way that works for you, and I might even change this a bit more. I just did this quickly. Then I think it can be quite nice, and it's much easier to play something like this. So that's that. What's the next thing we want to do? So we find out how to read the sheet music. We found songs. We adapted it, and maybe you can't find a song that you want to play, right? So how do we make our own sheet music if there's some really obscure song that nobody's made one for yet, and you really want to play it in the game? Well, I think there might be discords. You can ask someone else to help you with that. You can also, just figure it out by pressing buttons. But the way that I will show you, let's find that again. I think it's this one. And let's back it up. Let's Google Saria's song sheet music. You can't see that actually. Here, let me quickly show you. Saria's song sheet music. There you go. So here's some sheet music. Let's just click the first one. Who cares? Here's some sheet music. What the hell is this? Let's see what it sounds like. Cool. That's the song, right? It probably won't sound that nice when we play it. But we'll do our best, right? So what actually is this, though? If you don't know how to read music, if you do, I don't know why you're watching my shitty video, then you probably have no idea what this means. So let's go through it. So I'm just going to capture a screenshot here, and let's open our favorite tool, MS Paint. And then let's be done with this sheet music for now. And where's my paint? Here she is. So let's just do a quick explanation of what the hell this means. So this top section with this symbol here is this is the treble clef. This is the melody of the song. The melody of the song will always be this part, okay? So this is the part that you really care about, especially if you're a beginner. This down here is the bass. These are basically supporting notes that will make the song sound much nicer and more full if you play them together. So, for example, these notes are played simultaneously. But for the purpose of this video, we are just going to do this. Goodbye, bass. Because if you want to do that, you'll have to figure it out yourself. It's a little more tedious. It's already going to take us a little bit of time to do this part. If you already know music, it'll be much easier for you, but otherwise, let's just ignore it for now. So, this looks much simpler now, but perhaps we still have no idea what it means. So let's figure out what it means. So where the little dot is, that is what note we're going to play, okay? So what do these dots actually mean, though? Can I go bigger? Let's go here. So I guess I'll just have to tell you how to read sheet music, and in just a very simple way. So these spaces, you'll notice that there's a space here, space here, space here, space here, right? And then there's also lines here, and this note is in the space. This note is in the space. This note is in the line. So each of these mean a different note. So the spaces, this is the F note, this is the A note, this is the C note, and this is the E note. These are the ones in the spaces. That's a C here. So it spells face, going, bottom to top. So face is the spaces. So for example, that means that this note here, that's an F. This note here, that's an A, because it follows this, right? It's in the same space. But what's this note? It's in between A and C. So we don't know yet. Let's figure that out. So the lines are E, G, B, D, that's a D, F. So there's a lot of different mnemonics you can use to remember these. The one that I remember is every good boy deserves fudge. So that's E, G, B, D, F. Every good boy deserves fudge. And then face, I think, is pretty easy to remember. So now we know that the first note of the song here is an F, the second note is an A, and the third note, if we follow the line, it's a B, okay? So it's F, A, B. And you'll notice that this here is just repeated here. And actually, it's repeated here as well. So the song simply starts with F, A, B, F, A, B, F, A, B. That's pretty easy. So let's go back to our piano for a moment. Let's get rid of this notepad thing. Where's my piano? Here she is. So sadly, you might think, oh, FAB, let me press FAB. Obviously, that's not the song. Because that's the name of the note, not the name of the key binding you're going to press that is mapped to that note. And the reason for that is, for example, there are many F notes on this keyboard. You know, maybe this is an F, this is an F, this is an F, this is an F, this is an F. Every 8 notes is another F, okay? And so that's why we can't just make a simple key binding of F as F, because it's just not that easy. So if you want to know which notes are Fs, we can press here, turn note labels on. I don't like that it has these numbers because it's a little unclear, but whatever. The ones that say F are F, so we can play F here, here, here. Those are all F, okay? So we can actually start the song at any of those locations. But we should stick near the middle because in Final Fantasy, we only have the middle, right? If we go back to the game, the keyboard's much smaller than this one, and you only have the notes in the middle. So let's stick around the middle area as much as we can. So here's the first note we'll play, F. And if I just click them here and go F-A-B, 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 that's the song. We got it. But how do I actually play that on my keyboard? Well, you'll see here. Oh, you can't actually see that because my webcam. I'll get rid of it for a second. Up here, there's a letter I when I press this F. So that means if I press I on my keyboard, it plays that note. And then here is P, A. So if I just type now, sorry, IPA. That's the song, right? So you can type IPA, IPA, and that's the beginning of the song. And then if we go back to the game, you can do it there too. And that's the beginning of Saria's song. So we've just started playing Saria's song in Final Fantasy. That's it. It's that easy. Maybe that's not easy, but I think it's not too hard. If you care about it enough that you want to put a little bit of time into it, it's really not that hard to do. You just got to keep following that process to write down the notes. And then, you know, where's this? Where is that notepad file? Am I crazy? Here it is. So, you know, if you want to start making that sheet music, you just go IPA, IPA, blah, 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 blah. Right? You just record the notes that you figured out in a file, and now you can play that. So I think it's really that easy. And I think that's pretty much all I have for you guys. So hopefully this has helped anyone get into playing music in Final Fantasy, because I think it's really awesome. And yeah, I'd like to see some more people trying their hand at playing by hand, because I think it's a really cool way to play. So see you guys later.